Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this crash update on Dogecoin. I hadn't covered Dogecoin since I think Sunday. I think Sunday morning I covered it. There we talked about the potential of dropping down below the support level right here at 16.4, 16.2, which was the main range low, as you can see. And unfortunately, with a very weak opening of especially the crypto markets on Sunday and Monday, Dogecoin dropped down below that, all right, and we dropped down into that next support right here between 13.5 and 14.5 cents. So far, we have received relative strength from there, as you can see. Volume was quite high. I think the volume for Dogecoin was the highest we've seen, at least in the last month, but I think it's actually in the last 2 months or so. So that's a great sign of a bottom forming right here for Dogecoin, but ultimately that is not the most important thing. I think the most important thing for Dogecoin right here, or at least for Dogecoin holders and Dogecoin traders, is just in general knowing what's going on and what the possibilities are. But also if we can get some more recovery, at least back into the previous value area low here at 16.2, because it seems very unlikely that we will be able to reclaim that. But at least up to there, so that we can potentially consolidate right here between 14.5 and 16.5. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Like I said, short term looks pretty good for Dogecoin here specifically, but the ultimate price action here for Dogecoin is going to depend to a very large extent on Bitcoin. The correlation right now is almost 90%, all right? So that means that 90% of the moves that Bitcoin makes, Dogecoin just exactly follows. So therefore, what that means, and we'll get to the technicals here for Dogecoin in a moment, but ultimately I think it's my job to give you the best idea of what the market depends on. Right now, the market depends a lot on the fundamentals, all right, and that's obviously the trade war going on right now. And then I would even double down and saying it's mostly at this point of time about the tariffs between the US and the EU, and the tariffs between the US and China. Especially that last one is going to matter a lot. If we get a positive development on that, then I see Dogecoin getting back up to 16.5 with the chance to even reclaim that. But for that, we would need a lot of strength. So I do not expect that, but then I would expect something like this. And worst case scenario, Dogecoin is going to go all the way down to this level right here, potentially even hitting 12.5 right here before finding support much lower. So I do think stability for Dogecoin is close, but it matters a lot, at least to me, whether that stability is going to be right here around 15.5 and 15 cents or 13.5 and 14 cents. And that does depend on those fundamentals, all right? So I'll do my best to keep you updated on all the fundamentals right today, or at least all the headlines for today. But that is ultimately what you need to know regarding Dogecoin. For now, what you can see is that we had strength defending the bottom right here, but if you zoom in, you can see we lost some strength right here, and we still have some imbalances here to the downside. So I would actually say purely technically, it's actually very likely that we will retest these fair value gaps around 14 cents, consolidate right here between 15.2 and 14 cents, and then from this consolidation, we can expect a breakout. And then the two main levels to watch right here are 15.3. If we're able to get an intraday breakout above that, we can actually aim for 16.3. So that's 0.153, and then the line in the sand to the downside is probably around 14 cents. If we drop down below that, it's highly likely we're not only going to test the poor highs here at 13 cents, but then we can also test that level at 12.5. So one last thing, one of the reasons why I do not expect Dogecoin to specifically trade lower than 13 and 12.5 cents is because what is the good news is that we have found a massive support level. All right, so we have this massive volume node already right here between 17.5 and what is it, like, well, I would say all the way down to 14, but you can also see on the higher time frames that support level right here between around 13 cents is massive. All right, so I expect a lot of strength from there. So therefore, I do not expect that we're going to drop down lower, but ultimately it is still a fair question, and that is what we'll see over the course of today, where we are going to consolidate. I have a slight bias towards expecting some more recovery, de-escalation in the trade war, and a consolidation up here with a chance to reclaim the value area low at 16.5 cents. But those are my thoughts for now. I think that's what you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.